Hello, this is G. Bailey, and welcome back to Let's Play SimCity! Before building our first full city, I wanted to go over a much cheaper method for dealing with the Las Vegas scenario. I did not want to use this before because, well, not only is it a cheap method, but it completely circumvents the UFO attacks altogether. All you need to do is keep your population under 85,000 at all times, and the UFOs will never attack. So what I want to do is increase the tax rate to 9%, so that way zone demand never gets high enough to increase our population to 85,000. You could do it at 8%, but that gets pretty close to 85,000, so 9% will do, and that'll, well, pretty much keep the budget pretty balanced there. So you won't be losing a ton of money each year like I was doing before with the normal method. I wonder if they actually, expected you to keep your population above 85,000 the whole time like I did. Or if they figured it'll, go over, and then you'll have a UFO attack, and then it'll go under, and so on there. Now, one of the things that makes this method possible is because the zone levels, the zones in general, are massively imbalanced. We have way too many industrial zones for the population that we have. So what'll happen is, you see we got a pretty balanced budget there, as it is. So what you'll see happen is you'll have the industrial zone demand go down, residential demand goes up, because you have too many jobs for the number of residents in your city. Then residential demand will have too much population for the amount of industrial zones you have. So then residential demand goes down, industrial demand goes up. Sometimes they'll synchronize a little bit, but that won't last. So yeah, you see there, since I left the airport going, yeah, we got a helicopter over there reporting on heavy traffic throughout the city. That's why I disabled the auto go-to, because you'll constantly get yanked around the city by the helicopter there. And I'm not going to do anything about the traffic throughout the city. I also enabled auto budget, so that way, now I don't need to actually interact with the city at all. Don't need to build any zones, don't need to destroy any of them to get enough money for the budget there. Man, looks like I really broke even this year, or last year that is. So yeah, this is, you really don't have to deal with the UFOs at all. Just keep your city as it is when you started, and yeah, your zones will develop, or not, as fancy chooses. Hopefully the airplane won't crash into my power plants. Where are you going? You going back to the airport or something? Well, you gotta land somewhere, I guess. You're missing the runway. Dude, where are you going? Do you even know where you're flying? You gotta be going somewhere. Whoa, that plane is looking a little shaky there. You can't figure out where you're going, so you just drive along the roads. That's great. Well, whatever works for you. Okay, I guess it stabilized a bit here. But yeah, I just wanted to go into this menu. What would you call this? Like an isometric view or something like that? This one also negates all messages that you would receive while the city is going on. It's like anything like bum 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 bum, and then you have pollution or traffic or whatever Mr. Wright wants to bug us about. But I don't think, yeah, I just want to cut through that, just stick here, although I don't know what year it is. Would it tell me if I just sat around long enough? No, apparently not, so I'll have to check periodically. Where are we now? Okay, so basically, I need to get to 2104, for the year 2104. That's when the UFOs would have otherwise given up on their attacks. And if you wanted to, you could destroy a lot of the roads like I did before. One thing I thought about doing was eliminating the excess industrial and commercial zones, not to mention residential zones that will just never develop beyond level 1, and then making like the 35 residential zones that I did normally, but then drop the taxes or increase the taxes so the population would never grow that large. But then eventually I would need to... Well, the idea was to stabilize, like, the zone levels and stuff, because that's really what drives zone demand. Just try to keep that as balanced as possible. No, you're not even going to take a break at the airport, are you? Don't you ever run out of gas? How does that even work? I don't know. But yeah, so you see, like, there's a whole bunch of residential zones along the border of the city. You could just get rid of those. Maybe the airplane is looking for another airport or something. Somewhere else to land. We got all these runways all over the city. No one's using them. They don't go anywhere like a neighboring city. That is another thing that I'll go into when I'm building my first full city. Is that, let's see, with the industrial zones, it's a good idea to put them or other high sources of pollution around the edge of the city, because a lot of that will just spill over off the edge and go into, well, whatever city would probably be there. But it's their city, so who cares about air pollution? But it does cut down on the amount of pollution in the city as far as, like, the complaints go, or zone development, or anything like that. Not that industrial zones would really care. Not to mention when you're on the edge, especially in the corners of the city, you won't have very good zone levels, or, well, you won't have very good land value, so anything other than industrial zones probably wouldn't develop very well there anyway, past a certain point. Like, if you start building your city on the edge, or in one of the corners, okay, we're doing pretty good on the time anyway. But yeah, if you start building your city in one of the corners, the center of your city will be very far away from the center of the map. But eventually, as you start filling out the map, the center of the city will change based on the average distance of every zone, or I guess it would take police departments into account too. Any unit that you build in your city will have an average to wherever the center is, and it'll pull the center wherever you have a lot more zones. Like, if you have a map that isn't completely free, like this one, let's say you have water, then the center of your city is going to be away from the... away from the water sources. Although that isn't the case in the Freedom City that we got. I'm going to start with that one first, because, well, you don't have gifts to use in that city, but you don't have any water sources getting in the way of building more of the city. So you'll be able to make things pretty uniform over there. So I want to do one with that, and then I want to do one with a regular map. So that uses all the gifts, and on a harder difficulty. That is another thing with the zone, or what is that? Yeah, that is another thing with the Freedom City. Because, yeah, there we go. What was that? Oh yeah, since it's still kind of considered a scenario, you don't have access to the gifts, like I was saying, and what else was there? Well, yeah, you just don't have the water sources getting in the way. So it's kind of a trade-off. But alright, so once you get to the year 2104, drop the taxes to 0 or 1%, whatever you want to do, and watch the population go up. 1% should be good enough, but I'll see if I need to drop the tax rate a little more. Yeah, why don't we just go back to the view mode? Where'd the plane go? It's got to be around here somewhere. Ah, there we go. Yeah, just see the sights. I guess we got, what, a satellite or something? Taking pictures? Or video or something going on? Whatever happens. But yeah, as you can see, no UFO attacks at this point. And the population is soaring. So, yeah, remember, all you gotta do to complete the scenario is get up to 100,000 people. I don't think you need to see the city type message, but I'll do it anyway. Yeah, we're almost there. All zone demand is maxed out. I just figured I'd drop the tax rate to 1%, just so I have some amount of income going. But alright, there we go. We became a Metropolis, never had to deal with any of the UFOs or building a lot of fire departments or anything like that. So if all you want to do is just complete the scenario for the sake of it, that's fine. I think with the Freedom City, the maximum year is 65,535 or something like that. I think you can actually go beyond 9,999. Although, I don't know what would happen if you did that. I just figured that would be the maximum, at least in the memory. Maybe the numbers get all screwed up or something, or go hexadecimal or something or other. I don't know. Yeah, it's too bad that this scenario just gives so little money to really do much with the city. Like, I can't really spend any money on dealing with traffic, for example. Just because the rails would cost so much money. But, alright, there we go. So that's the easy way of dealing with the Las Vegas scenario. But how do we develop a full city without gifts? Find out next time on Let's Play SimCity. This is H.G. Bailey, signing off. Have a good day.